and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather. He said, I'm only doing real fights. Now, of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at.
Floyd Mayweather has unleashed another shocker after challenging Terence Crawford to ditch his bout with Canelo Alvarez and face him instead. That would be nothing more than a showcase match. But I doubt if Floyd Mayweather realizes that the fight offers Terence Crawford no honor to his outstanding boxing record. It does nothing for his path to the International Boxing Hall of Fame greatness. At best, it's a fast and effortless way to earn money for the former undisputed world welterweight title holder.
Well, one thing I like about it, one thing I do like about it, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he, and Floyd,
is up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever, keep it real, boss. Keep it real.
I'm never that type.
For some reason, the boxing icon believes he and Crawford will generate more money than Canelo and Crawford. The purpose of this for Floyd was to finally settle the debate over who is the superior fighter between him and Terence Crawford, since Terence Crawford is the only boxer with a record closest to Floyd Mayweather, which has fueled numerous discussions in the past about who is the greatest boxer of all time. Maybe the fight will happen eventually, but it might be too soon considering Crawford is still active and striving for greatness. The super middleweight champion put in tremendous effort to secure this fight against Canelo, and it's unlikely he'll be willing to give it up.
Shit, always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. I never looked at him like...
Many boxing fans have repeatedly drawn comparisons between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, but Bud refused to take away the rightful honors of the 50-0 boxing champion. Terence Crawford respects Floyd Mayweather, and when asked about their similarities, he had a few things to add as well. Crawford praised and recognized Floyd's greatness and referred to him as the king.
Hit and I get hit, and to make the adjustments that he's made to certain fighters. You know, he's
the pound for pound top fighter in boxing right now is Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, I just truly believe he doesn't have to be under my company for me to give a guy props. I'm not like that. You know, if he's ever free.
He then continued emphasizing that they share many similarities in some aspects, but also have differences. Crawford believes he takes more risks. Earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances. As well, he feels it largely depends on which Floyd Mayweather is being discussed, whether it's Money Mayweather or Pretty Boy, because Pretty Boy was an aggressive fighter always seeking to destroy. Then as he started experiencing hand injuries, he couldn't maintain the same power and was moving up in weight to face bigger opponents.
both boxing. I think, you know, I take more chances, you know, right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, you know...
Like Crawford mentioned, they share many similarities. However, boxing fans and supporters have compared both fighters to determine who is superior. And when they did, a news source predicted Crawford as the likely winner in a matchup between the two. When it comes to pure boxing skill, it would be difficult to find another fighter who has delivered more masterful displays of the sweet science than Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. You talk about Money or you talk about Pretty Boy, because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy fighter.
The sharp jab, precise timing, and exceptional counterpunching ability allowed Mayweather to dismantle a long list of opponents, and he accomplished it across two different phases of his career.
And he want to go to any company. If he's a free agent, I would love to work with him if he's free, because I know that what I can do is take him to that next level. Because with Jim Sam, raw talent, hell of a fighter. There's a lot of hell of a fighters out there.
Just as Crawford mentioned, Pretty Boy Floyd was the more aggressive fighter, pressing the action against opponents, while years later, Money Mayweather would outthink and outmaneuver his rivals with masterful boxing. Whichever style you prefer, both eras shaped the legend of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Similarly, boxing fans are still amazed by what Crawford did to Spence in his last fight. Whether it was a powerful jab that he continuously snapped through Spence's guard punching in close exchanges, or the precision of his counterpunches, Bud displayed elite boxing skills. And it wasn't the first time, but we had never seen it executed at that level against an opponent of Spence's caliber. When discussing pure boxing ability, arguably, no one should be favored over Mayweather, but Crawford's boxing style is different yet highly effective, even explosive in his own way. So how would their styles match up if Crawford fought Mayweather in his prime and unleashed his razor-sharp shots against Mayweather's disciplined sweet science? Who would establish the jab first? Who would prove to be the more effective counterpuncher?
Defensive work. Chin.
There are countless ways this matchup could unfold, making it fair to call this category a draw. How many times have we seen Mayweather lure his opponents into the center of the ring, where he processed information, analyzed their movements, and devised a strategy to break them down? Mayweather utilized his ring yick and his philosophy of hitting without getting hit to carve his path to the Hall of Fame as an undefeated 5-division world champion. Crawford, having become undisputed at junior welterweight and now welterweight, has also displayed exceptional ring yick throughout his career. Mayweather showcased impressive hand speed, particularly in counterpunching, but Crawford's sharp angles and explosive punch delivery give Bud the edge in speed.
Footwork.
Of Mayweather's 50 victories, 27 came by knockout, compared to Crawford's 40 wins, with 31 coming by stoppage. And he's still active now. Revisit Crawford's masterclass against Spence, dropping him 3 times on the way to a dominant 9th round KO, dismantling a power-punching, relentless body attacker like Spence, who systematically broke down Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Yordenis Ugas. To unify the welterweight division was no easy feat, yet Crawford made it look effortless, and his power played a major role. Mayweather, standing in the corner, raising his shoulder into the Philly shell, absorbing shots with his arm, while using his free hand to place precision counters, was defensive boxing and counterpunching at its absolute finest.
Boxing IQ. Legacy.
Crawford possesses slick defensive skills as well, but Mayweather elevated defensive boxing to a near-perfect art. If we imagine a showdown between Crawford and a prime Mayweather, how would the fight actually unfold? And who would emerge victorious after a tense opening round where both fighters cautiously feel each other out? Crawford would likely be the more aggressive and active early on, throwing and landing shots, even if many are deflected by Mayweather's shoulder and elbow. By the middle rounds, Mayweather's rhythm would take over as he begins to control the pace with sharp jabs, strategically winning rounds.
Look at this defense, unbelievable. You young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you see one of the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong. If you wear it, then he's still wear it. You think you can. And again, it's not just hand.
Yet with relentless pressure, Crawford's firepower could break through Mayweather's defense, possibly even hurting the legend at times. As close as this matchup would be, Crawford's fighting ability and his explosive punch delivery might be enough to sway the judges in his favor, rewarding his aggression and volume on the way to a decision victory over Mayweather's calculated style.
The movement of the head, the way he rolls and punches. Look at the way he makes a miss. I mean, here we go. Two series of punches, which is nothing really landing. Terrific fighter. Mayweather. All right.
Terence Crawford, a 4-division world champion, has voiced his desire to face Canelo, the reigning super middleweight champion. However, the weight difference between them presents a major challenge for the American fighter.
Well, Crawford cares about his life, and with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo? Fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo. What do that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic, it makes sense, and less life risking on top of the risk that we risk stepping in there with guys our weight.
Former heavyweight champion Ron Jura gave his take on the potential showdown between Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. While acknowledging Crawford's exceptional talent and skill, the legendary boxer favored Canelo highlighting his punching power as a key factor that could determine the outcome of the fight.
Boot time to take over and start beating the guys around him. Prove he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy.
His analysis highlights Crawford's need to neutralize Canelo's legendary power if Crawford can utilize his technical boxing skills and evade Canelo's devastating shots. He could have a real chance at securing a historic upset, while a potential showdown between Canelo and Crawford remains a dream fight for fans. Canelo Alvarez is currently focused on preparing for his next challenge.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do you got to prove to Boots? Boot time to take over and start beating the guys around him.
International Boxing Federation interim champion William Skull has been mentioned as a potential opponent. This wasn't always the stance for Roy Jones Jr., though the Hall of Fame fighter and current promoter-trainer and respected analyst initially outlined scenarios where he believed both Terence Crawford and David Benavidez could defeat Canelo Alvarez before later changing his prediction.
The guys around him prove he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looks to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He will take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
And now you want me to do something. Canelo's not coming down to 60.
It's Crawford who wants it. He wants the chance to prove it. He's the best.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right.
And that's just, and again, that's one of what's happening on the shakeup of the New World Order, where you got fighters that's really 54 at best.
Two-time 168-pound champion Benavidez has been calling for a shot at Alvarez for the past 2 years. Formerly regarded as the best welterweight in the world, Crawford is willing to move up 2 weight classes for the opportunity to face the Mexican star Alvarez, however insists that defeating Crawford would do little to enhance his legacy, even though many believe Crawford has a legitimate chance to pull off the victory.
A little big for Crawford. I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shock, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big. So I probably would rather see.
Jones, who moved between weight classes in the latter part of his career as a 4-division champion, stated that Alvarez should focus on continuing his career at super middleweight.
Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. If he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now. I want to see Crawford come up some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You understand me? Crawford won a pound best fighter fight.
To take on a Canelo who can actually fight a cruiserweight and maybe give a cruiserweight, especially at this moment, all the hell they can want. If you can't hurt a guy like Canelo, and you don't have height and depth to be able to at least have something to work with, then we're going to see another, what they say, boring fight, not say a smart fight.
Last year, Canelo Alvarez fought on September 14th around Mexican Independence Day, so it's only natural that his annual September fight is set for September 13th. This year, reports indicate that the Mexican champion has reserved the T-Mobile Arena for that date as he prepares to face Terence "Bud" Crawford nearly a year after his fight against Edgar Berlanga at the same venue, a bout that coincided with a UFC event.
Being that you're obviously again appealing Team Crawford, can you confirm? Are we going to see that fight? Has it been made official? Is it official?
It's on, baby. September 13th, baby. Look forward to it. Crawford versus Canelo.
Heard it?
Listen how I said it.
Hey, are we getting
Crawford
this confirmation here
Canelo.
first?
You understand?
Canelo Alvarez has been rumored to face Terence Crawford in a potential super fight later in 2025. The Mexican boxer is a true icon of the sport. With an illustrious career, both he and Crawford are among the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now, and a clash between them would be a must-watch event. Canelo Alvarez may be getting older, but age hasn't slowed his momentum or his status as the face of boxing. However, fans haven't been entirely satisfied with his recent opponent selections, with many accusing him of avoiding top challengers like David Benavidez.
You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not?
Despite the criticism, Alvarez continues to sell out arenas, no matter who he faces, and the same is expected later this year, as his highly anticipated bout with Terence Crawford is nearly finalized. All signs point to the fight taking place on September 13th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. But will Canelo really stay inactive? Until then, it's unlikely, and Boxing Scene may have uncovered details about his next fight. According to reports, 4 fight cards have been reserved on the Strip for March 22nd, March 29th, April 5th, and May 3rd, with the last date remaining a mystery for now.
I understand the money grab. I understand it's about the bag. Crawford ain't 26. Another major network is saying they packing their bags up. You will see a lot of desperate moves jumping off. You will see a lot of very unrealistic, unorthodox, crazy thinking, crazy gossip.
Being that you're obviously again appealing Team Crawford, can you confirm? Are we gonna see that fight? Has it been made official? Is it official?
It's on, baby. September 13th, baby. Look forward to it. Crawford versus Canelo.
Heard it.
Listen how I said it.
Hey, are we getting this
Crawford
confirmation
versus
here
Canelo.
first?
You understand? Yeah, it's confirmed. Man, what?
Say less.
Crawford versus Canelo, not the other way around. Team Crawford, stand up. Pound for pound, the best in the world. Soon to be the super.
For Canelo, that May 3rd date is definitely one to watch. He has fought on Cinco de Mayo weekend every year since 2019, except for the COVID-affected year in 2020, with 3 of those 5 fights taking place at the T-Mobile Arena, so the pattern is clear. However, nothing is set in stone. Considering how significant the fight against Crawford is, Alvarez might opt to take more time off to keep his body fresh. But if his history is any indication, he prefers to stay active. As for his potential opponent, William Skull seems to be the leading candidate. The IF super middleweight champion has been in discussions with Canelo's team since the start of the year.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that. No disrespect him, but sometimes it's a little crazy that people talking about a small fighter like Charlo. He's big, which
Canelo is now 34 years old, and while he has shown no signs of slowing down, he is arguably approaching the final stretch of his career. In a recent conversation with Ring magazine, he spoke about when he might consider retiring, admitting that he doesn't have a definite answer, but acknowledging that the time is getting closer. He stated that he still feels great, better than ever, as he has repeatedly proven in the ring. But maybe at 38 he thinks that would be the right time to start considering retirement. He added that throughout his career he has taken on tough fights, even when he didn't have to, consistently challenging himself, because he loves the sport and wants to prove his greatness. He also mentioned that he enjoys moving between weight classes and rarely reflects on his own achievements. Instead, his trainer is the one who reminds him of his accomplishments and the many world champions he has defeated, which he finds impressive.
he's big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford, fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit.
Canelo Alvarez last defeated Edgar Berlanga in September 2024, and reports indicate that his rumored fight against Terence Crawford is close to becoming a reality in 2025. For now, the future of this potential bout remains uncertain, as both fighters have existing commitments, and any agreement will depend on factors such as contract negotiations and strategic decisions from their teams. Not many fighters have shared the ring with both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. The only one to do so professionally was Amir Khan, who suffered stoppage defeats. To both, he has already shared his thoughts on how a potential Crawford versus Canelo showdown might unfold.
Named you and Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see. We'll see. Everything is possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well and figure out something.
There are a few more fighters who have sparred with both men, and one of them has now shared his thoughts on how this fantasy matchup might play out. That fighter is middleweight contender Kyron Davis, who also faced Canelo's rival David Benavides back in November 2021, having trained with both Bud and Canelo. Davis told Mill City Boxing, that he believes it would be an extremely tough fight for Crawford and would favor Alvarez to win. He explained that Canelo is naturally the bigger fighter and can take a punch, making it difficult for Crawford to hurt him. While Crawford might be able to cut him or target the body, he doesn't think Crawford has the power to seriously damage Canelo with a single shot.
What do I think of that fight? I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got this thing. I do think that Canelo's a little big for Crawford. Maybe being a tall task.
According to Davis, Crawford would need to land clean shots and attack the body, but it would be a huge challenge. Everyone knows Canelo is an elite fighter with great movement and traps, making him a difficult opponent. While nothing is impossible in boxing, if he had to bet, he would put his money on Canelo. He clarified that he's not taking anything away from Crawford, but he sees Canelo as the stronger fighter with the ability to end the fight with a single punch. He even suggested that Canelo might be able to stop Crawford due to his size and power. As for Floyd Mayweather, the reasons behind his push for an exhibition fight with Crawford remain unclear.
There'll be a lot to get that victory based on, size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill. It'll be hard.
But as Eddie Hearn pointed out when they met earlier this year, Floyd Mayweather often turns to exhibition fights when he's struggling financially, even though he denied it in his conversation with Hearn. His recent call-out of Terence Crawford has sparked questions about his true intentions. For now, the world watches and waits to see Crawford's response to all of this, as well as the highly anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez, a fight born from Crawford's relentless pursuit of greatness. That's all for now. For the latest updates on boxing news, moments, and more, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on quality content like this.